Just uh just a little recap on my last video. I'm gonna try to stop saying so much. But family is a word, a very like home is a word I don't use. And family is a word I don't use because and I don't feel ashamed of it. But like I said, depending on who you are, the more you realize family is a joke. You are around these people based on just the product of marriage and relationships. That's all. Because it's like I said, as a kid, I was not really psyched to see. I'm just making up names, but when Uncle and I don't have an Uncle Chester, but I don't want to use people's names. But when Uncle Chester would come over for for like well we never had people coming over our house. When we would have these little get-togethers, we would all have like my dad would have. This is what we did. He would bring his friends over because these were not like my uncles, but we called them uncles because they were like friends of our dad. So so he would bring over like his clique of friends and family, and his girlfriend would bring over her family and her friends. So I'm sorry, I'm laughing right now because it was this it was a guy it was a guy come over. He wasn't like he wasn't related to me. He was sort of like on my dad's girlfriend's side of the family. I ain't gonna say his name because he passed away. I think he died. But he was so he was always yelling at me. He was always yelling at me, and I don't know why. But I was just saying to myself, like one time he yelled at me. He wanted me to get him something to drink, and I was like, yeah, I'll get you something to drink. I never got him nothing to drink. The way he talked to me, I think I was like 11 or 12. Somebody wanted to get it for him, but I just said, why is this dude always so like uptight with me? And I guess I took it more personal. Like I told you, when you do things around women to a boy or like a kid, it's not good. Like, psychologically, it's not good to do that because you take things like this. Men feel more sensitive when a woman is around than other guys. Like you say something to a man and a woman's around, that's attractive. Let me throw that point in. That's attractive. You feel inclined to defend your honor more. It's like if there's a guy around me and I say to a girl he may have a liking for, like bro man, pass me that soda right there. Like man, I gotta pass you anything. But if it's just guys around, he was like, oh yeah, sure, here you go, yeah. But family, yeah, I'm all over the place in this video. Family, like I said, I told you what I think about it. But when you get older, the older you get, the less you see a family, the more people drift apart from one another. That's just the reality. Like with a lot of my trauma from childhood, I've learned from 18 Piranhas, the YouTube channel I have to promote it on here. I don't know her name though. I don't. She never gives her actual name. And yeah. But anyway, what I've learned is you have to stay away from the trauma that caused you to be where you are. Like whatever trauma that caused you in the situation you are now, you gotta avoid it. And I did a good job. Well, leaving Philly, I don't ever think I may return there ever because I don't see nothing positive out of being in the city where you have a murder rate hitting like 300. I haven't checked it lately, but I think it's almost 300 now. But I just that's one like component I do to get rid of trauma is not being around areas or people that remind me of it. Like, I don't talk to a lot of people in my family, virtually nobody, because I just feel it reminds me more of the bad than the good. Cause don't get me wrong, people have done good for me, but you think more about the bad than the good. If you did more good than bad, you wouldn't think about the bad. 'Cause I don't ever plan on having children. I've just came to that conclusion with my goals in life. Like I said, I can't raise children and attend school and work for myself or work the hours that I do. You can't be a parent and work, you know, like the hours that I do. Because I come to the conclusion, not always, but in the black community, people are parents off of just the result of a lot of reckless behavior, one night stands, you know, you just not protecting yourself, not wearing protection. That's the result of being a parent in the black community. No one ever just says, let's have a child together. Let's raise it in a 2-parent household and let's get married before we had a child. No one says that. It's just, man, I met this girl and now she's trying to get me for child support 9 months later. This dude I talk to at work, I don't really speak. I don't converse with him anymore. But he's told me, first questions he asked me was, "You play video games?" I'm like no, because medically speaking, I can't play video games because of the I don't have a video game console, but I can't. I find that my paralysis and all that stuff has like diminished, is going away, sort of, with me not looking at like cartoons. Like, yeah, I look at Beavis and Butthead and like maybe Tom and Jerry. But the thing about that is, see, those are cartoons that are not like, the paintings and the graphics are not so like colorful, and it's hardly hard to explain. Like, certain cartoons I can watch, certain ones I can't. Like, I can't watch SpongeBob anymore, and that's a lot of reasons for that. Like, certain cartoons trigger seizures in me, video games trigger seizures in me, and I sort of I blame that also on medication, because I've also come to the conclusion that when I told you, when I had my little experience, I took all those like the pills for my allergies and my cough and cold. I assumed it had the same effects as the cough syrup did. I used to get colds to go down faster. I used to take too much of the recommended dosage to get the cold to go down faster. I did that quite often. And I think over the years, it caught up with me, like where I can't even use the medication anymore. Because, like I said, if I'm around water, I get in seizure mode. I get in paralysis mode. And I think over the years, it just sort of caught up with me. Like the thing with Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne recreationally used, I think it's called codeine, and it caught up with him. Now he has epilepsy. So I suffer from them only in certain like scenarios. But back to family, like I said, it's just a joke to me. I think I'll forget more and more about family and the concept of it when my money is looking better, how I plan it to look next year, when I have more money in my pocket, when I'm more established, when I'm done my education. I won't even think about it, because I just say I could do all this myself. Everything that they say they can do for me, I could do myself.